Welcome to Stormy Willow, where we explore the paranormal, celebrate the odd, and never trust the living. I'm your host, Adele.
And I'm your host, Sarah. Hello, hello.
Hello and welcome to our 50 States of Strange this season.
Yeah.
We're flying through all of the states, so if you missed any, catch up. Georgia came out last week, and today we are covering Hawaii.
Whoa, aloha. I should have said aloha.
Aloha.
I love it. I mean, what could possibly be scary about that lovely paradise?
It does seem like a paradise, but it is hella haunted, has a lot of indigenous lore as well. So this is going to be a really fun, spooky ride through Hawaii for some of those that are more adventurous, I suppose. Like the dark
Yeah,
side of Hawaii.
let's hear about it. I love Hawaii. I've been there once, and I have to say, it's definitely a little slice of heaven.
Well, we'll see what you think about that by the time we get to the end of this episode.
All right.
All right, so Hawaii is defined by a deep spiritual tradition and a history of independent chiefdoms that unified into a kingdom in 1810 before its controversial overthrow in 1893 and eventual statehood in 1959. So it really hasn't been a state very long, has it?
It really hasn't. 1959. Man, I wonder if they're wishing now they could back right on out.
Yeah, they're like,
we tried it. It didn't really work for us. We're out here.
Yeah. The island's name is traditionally attributed to Hawaii-loha, a legendary Polynesian navigator associated in oral tradition with the discovery of the islands. Linguistically, it traces back to the Proto-Polynesia Waikīkī, meaning homeland, but also understood as a place of origin, and in some interpretations, a place in which souls return.
Oh, well, listen, I would like for my soul to return there.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate that at all. And what's also interesting is that belief is not symbolic. It shapes how the land was actually used. So across the island, there are what are known as spirit roads. Did you see any of these when you were in Hawaii?
You know, I have to tell you, I was there with the marching band, so no. No.
That sounds like a terror. That sounds like a scary thing.
That was a terror in itself. But we'll save those stories for another day.
Well, these spirit roads or ancient pathways believed to be traveled not just by priests and royalty in life, but by their spirits after they pass.
Ooh, it's kind of like a vacation for your soul. Like, good job. You get to vacation in Hawaii for eternity and eat some mandarin oranges.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too bad. So these routes were treated with the same respect as sacred grounds, and even today, some are avoided after dark, and it's not really out of superstition, but out of recognition for how sacred these are.
I love that.
And this isn't just confined to the past, so the Hawaii state capitol reflects the same philosophy. So unlike most government buildings, it was intentionally designed with large open-air entrances and no central doors, which allows wind, light, and, by traditional belief, spirits to move freely through the structure. So that's nice.
That is nice.
And it's a modern building. It was constructed in the 20th century, so they designed it with that specific attribute in mind.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it was built with the understanding that something older would still be passing through.
Very cool.
All right, but now we get into some more of the spookier stuff. So Nuʻuanu Pali is a place of immense spiritual weight and violent history.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is pretty dark. So in 1795, it was the site of the Battle of Nuʻuanu, where Kamehameha I forced hundreds of opposing warriors to the edge of the cliff and over them, falling to their deaths.
Rose, will you pause while I get a slice of cheesecake? I feel like I'm listening to a story by Rose Island.
Seriously. I do this for the fans, okay? So I hope you guys are enjoying this. All right. So this guy was just like, he pulled like a 300 where they just like, force the entire troop off the edge of these really sheer cliffs, falling to their deaths.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty dark, right?
Story that's not just like legend, like that really happened.
Yeah, it really happened in 1795.
That's awful.
Yeah, so you can imagine it might be haunted.
It might be.
So during the construction of the first road across the Pali, or cliffs, that's what Pali means, workers uncovered more than 800 human skulls and bones scattered at the base of the cliff. So yeah, like this really happened. You can see the evidence of it. Some were removed and sold to museums, but others were left where they were found or buried beneath the road itself.
Oh, I don't like that. That doesn't seem very respectful.
So witnesses have reported seeing tall, muscular figures in traditional malo standing at a distance or appearing without warning. So there's apparitions for sure. Even in one account, a man approaching a couple at the lookout was suddenly thrown to the ground by an unseen force. Only afterward did it become clear he was walking straight towards a murder-suicide situation. So in this case, this was more of an ancestral protector. It kind of protected the guy from getting in the middle of that.
Oh my gosh.
And another presence is said to be far less protective. There are stories of a young woman who took her life at the lookout after discovering her partner betrayed her.
Oh no.
Yeah, so visitors claim that at night she calls out to the men, sometimes by name, drawing them closer to the edge. One account ties this to a man known as Charlie, who disappeared in 2001 after reportedly hearing his name called from the darkness, and he was never found.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, so it kind of makes me think of a siren, like luring you to your death, right? Like, pretty creepy. And if we're talking about Hawaii, of course we have to pay respect to Pele, the goddess, and pork. We'll get to that.
Not the soccer player.
There's a soccer player named Pork?
Pele.
Oh. Okay, that one makes more sense.
But that would be great.
Well, somebody needs to be nicknamed Pork.
I mean, there's Meatloaf, the singer, so why not be a pork?
Somebody needs to make that happen. Dad's probably gonna come back and be like, that's what they called me when I played football.
Pork.
Pele is the goddess of fire, and the pig god, Kamapua'a, are said to have divided the island after a long conflict. So Kamapua'a claimed the lush windward valleys, so I think he kind of got the better end of the deal. But if you're a fire goddess, you probably would want to claim the dry volcanic side, so that's Pele territory.
Yeah, I was thinking that this was going to lead to where the luau came from. The pig on the stick and the fire.
No, I'm not going to talk about that at all.
So I was like, is this where the tradition of the luau came from?
Oh, I don't know, but the luau seems pretty fun. But no, this is a different kind of ritual with pork, and we'll get to that. So this is like a natural boundary where you have like the lush greenery versus the volcanic part of it.
Makes sense.
So because pork is associated with Kamapua, people say you don't carry across the Pali into Pele's territory.
Okay.
Like, it's not symbolic, like literally don't take pork here or bad things happen to you.
So don't take even like a ham sandwich or a barbecue sandwich there for everything. You're going to be screwed. Okay.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Drivers have reported their cars stalling without warning, engines gutting out in the same stretch of road, no explanation until someone remembers what's in the car. Pork. Once it's removed, the engine starts again. Allegedly. They take pork out and
Get him out of here.
In 1947, a group actually tested this. And it didn't just stall. They saw something, a large figure near the road shifting, not fully human, so it's almost like it was materializing. And when they threw the pork out of the car, the air filled with the smell of decay, and then it was gone and the car started.
So if I'm doing a road trip, like, do not pick up the pork rinds. Like, you just leave them. Like, don't do it. Like, don't be chomping on pork rinds. Going on a little road trip in Hawaii in this area.
Yeah, apparently don't do it, or your car will stall. I guess there could be worse. It's like a forced picnic, I guess. I don't know what happens if you eat the pork and then get back in the car. You
just sit there, just like,
devour the pork, and then maybe it starts. I don't know.
Maybe don't try.
If she like food poisoning, I have no idea. Somebody test it out. Not me, because I'm a vegetarian, but I would love to hear somebody try this. All right. And then not only the pork situation of making your car stall, not letting you enter her territory, there's also the curse of Pele. So don't take anything from her lands. A lot of people like to take knickknacks like rocks, things that they find, especially the lava rocks, or maybe even sand, or just something off the island. Don't do that. Visitors who ignore it often report the same pattern of bad luck, sudden illness, maybe the pork, like the food poisoning, I don't know. Sudden illness, accidents, things falling apart for no clear reason.
Wait, now didn't this happen, if I'm not mistaken, on the Brady Bunch when they went to Hawaii? Didn't one of those kids take something and some bad luck happened, if I'm remembering correctly?
I thought it turned into like a Scooby-Doo situation where there were like bad people in a cave doing something.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I know they end up getting tied up by people at some point. And there's like a little necklace with like...
Yes!
Like a
I remember the necklace. Yes. Okay.
But yeah, I think it's like nodding to that. Like, don't take stuff from the land.
Leave it alone. I'm sure there's a wings right situation. You can pick up something, a magnet, on your way out.
Yeah, seriously, just get like a souvenir at the souvenir store.
Yeah.
But so much, this happens so much at like people taking artifacts and then having series of bad luck, that park offices and hotels receive packages every year, and it's boxes of rocks mailed back from tourists.
I love that. That's so funny.
So,
yeah, I had one.
They're like, I'm returning this to where it came from. So, I don't know. Maybe just avoid it altogether and don't take it in the first place.
Yeah, don't do it.
And then, of course, I think this is one of the best known, and of course, must cover topic, the night marchers. Have you heard of them?
We did an episode on the night marchers.
Yeah. So these guys are not something to play around with. So the night marchers are said to be the spirits of ancient Hawaiian warriors moving in processions, not wandering and not lost, so they're very intentionally marching. Often tied to the final nights of the lunar cycle, their presence is described the same way over and over again. You hear it before you see it, so you hear a low, hollow call of a poo, which is a conch. At first I thought they were calling out poo, but that's not the case. They're like blowing on a conch shell. So it's like a probably pretty scary sounding horn, actually. And then you start hearing rhythmic drumming, and the footsteps and steady sync of marching, and then sometimes the air might even shift. It might become like heavy and charged with the faint smell of sulfur even. And then you start to see the torch lights.
Yes.
And the torch lights will be moving through the dark where probably no one should be. Like, a lot of times they're just deep in the woods or all sorts of different places. So the warning signs are obviously not subtle. They're meant to be recognized because once you realize what it is, you're already too close. So now what do you do if you see a night marcher? It sounds like you don't only see one, you see a group. So what do you do if you see the night marchers? Well, you don't run, just like a bobcat or any jungle cat. Don't run.
Or a bear.
Or a bear. You do not stand and you do not look. So don't run, don't stand, don't look.
Well, what do you do? Stop, drop, and roll?
You do drop, yes. You get low, face down, and eyes averted. And this part, I'm not doing this part if I ever encounter a night marcher. Some say you remove your clothing as a sign of complete humility and respect. This sounds like a great practical joke to play on people. Some people say you need to strip down naked and avert your eyes and just make yourself very low. Apparently, if you look at them, you don't survive it. I would love to know anybody who maybe has looked at them. But anyway, you're supposed to get naked and low. And then there is only one exception. So if one of the marchers is your ancestor, so we would be screwed. We don't have any ancestors.
No.
But if one of the marchers is an ancestor and recognizes you, and if you're a local that knows your ancestry, you can start calling out your ancestry.
No. We're screwed. I don't think anybody that's a Collins is gonna be on Hawaii.
Does that help us? But if you're a local, it's worth a shot seeing if one of your ancestors is one of the marchers. They might leave you alone. Otherwise, you're just a living person in the path of something that does not stop. So I don't know what they do to you if they get you, but it sounds like you just want to avoid that situation altogether. But it still would be a great way to make people streak.
That would be kind of a mean but funny joke to play on your friends.
It could be very, very mean. All right. Now, I'm really excited about this one because it's a good old classic haunted house, like a true haunting. This is the Kamuki house. I think I said that right.
Yeah.
Kamuki Kasha house. So it's near 8th Avenue in Harding, if you know the local area. There was a modest residential home. It really does just look like a normal kind of mid-century home.
Yeah.
That became the center of some of Hawaii's most violent haunting reports. And what's unique about this one is it's not an ancient site or anything like some of the other hauntings we've talked about thus far. And it's not known to be on a burial ground or anything. It's just a normal house. The activity tied to it began appearing in reports in the early 1940s.
Okay.
I don't know why this just started. In an already established neighborhood with nothing about the structure itself that would explain what followed, the name most people know it by is Kasha House as well. So in Japanese folklore, a kasha is associated with violent physical disturbances tied to death and the vulnerable. And in a place like Hawaii, where cultures overlap, the name became the closest comparison people had for this activity that was going on. So Akasha is essentially a cat demon that feeds on the flesh of corpses. They're very dark, evil entities.
God.
Yeah. So I guess that was
did a murder or something horrible happen here? Or are we just, there's nothing that links?
There's nothing known of any bad activity, anybody like conjuring anything.
Yeah, that's very strange.
It's very weird. But yeah, let's talk about like the incidents that happened. So the disturbances weren't random. They centered on children. So this thing targets kids.
Oh God.
Consistently. Objects would move, of course, but they would move with great force. Things sliding across rooms, lifting, being thrown. And it wouldn't happen in just one place in the home. It would move all over the household. So it wasn't confined to a room or a certain area, like a lot of hauntings are.
Right.
It was the whole house.
Yikes.
And what started in one room, like I said, didn't stay there. It would move throughout the house. And children were obviously the target, like I mentioned. Children were reported to be pulled from where they were sitting or standing, shoved without warning, grabbed hard enough to leave marks, choked by pressure with no visible source. And the escalation was immediate. So it wasn't subtle, it wasn't a gradual build over time like a lot of hauntings.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it would just start out very aggressively and focused on children who moved into this household. And if someone tried to intervene, that wouldn't stop it. It would actually get worse, as if it was responding to the intervention. And then if that wasn't enough, in 1942, there was a police report actually filed. So officers were called after reports that children were being physically attacked.
Mm.
Inside the home, they witnessed children being thrown across the room by something unseen. A mother attempted to protect them using tea leaves and salt. That sounds rational to me. Like, why not? Placing them around the children as a barrier, and even with others present, the activity did not stop.
Oh my God.
In 1972, there was another key incident. Decades later, obviously, a girl, again the focus, was found struggling to breathe, being choked by something no one could see. An officer stepped in to help, and something grabbed him. He didn't see anything, but he described the sensation clearly. It was a grip, strong, deliberate, and distinctly calloused. So that's kind of creepy. Like a hand with nothing there. They tried to remove the girl from the house, placed her in a squad car, and the engine would not start. It would
It's
just
like an auto-dome. Oh.
Yeah, so no ignition, no explanation. Only when she was returned to the original vehicle she had arrived in did the car start. So that, I don't know.
It's like it attaches itself to the children.
Yeah. What makes this one different is it wasn't just that something was present, it was how it behaved. It didn't linger. It didn't wait to be noticed. It engaged. It resisted. And it showed a pattern that's hard to ignore. The focus was always on the children, which leaves the question that never really gets answered is, was it tied to the house or to the children themselves? And we have no idea. But yeah, it's pretty odd and not like a classic haunting. It seems more demonic in nature, at least to me, with how just out of the gate it's super aggressive. But some other hauntings. So we do have some hauntings that are not just homes. We also have some haunted hotels.
Oh, I love a good haunted hotel now.
Yeah, and these are also beautiful resorts if you do want to stay in them. I think they look absolutely immaculate. The first one is the Moana Surfrider in Waikīkī. It's known as the First Lady of Waikīkī. The Moana Surfrider, it sits on land tied to a site associated with ancient rituals and, by some accounts, bloodshed.
Ooh.
The building itself is elegant, bright, and open, but the reports don't match the setting. So first up, we have Jane Stanford. Yes, that Stanford, associated to Stanford University.
Okay, I was gonna say which Stanford.
Yes, of the people of the family that,
Gotcha.
Stanford
Okay.
University. So she died here in 1905 from strychnine poisoning.
Oh no!
Yeah. So guests have reported seeing a woman in Victorian dress moving through the halls, not interacting, not acknowledging anyone, just passing through. And it's almost like she's still there, but not really on the same time or plane as the rest of us. And it's believed to be Jane Stanford's ghost.
That's crazy.
Yeah, then we also have the Silent Watcher. So they're also...
No. I'm not doing another watcher or a marcher. No, thank you.
Yeah, this guy sounds pretty intimidating. So there are also repeated sightings of a tall Hawaiian man standing near the edge of the property. He wears an ahu'ula. It's a feathered cape traditionally worn by royalty.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't move much. He doesn't approach. He just stands and watches, and then he just disappears.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are some of the ghosts of Moana's Surfrider.
I love that. I don't know what it is, but I love like a haunted hotel. I just think that sounds so fun.
And they usually smell good.
They do. Like I still remember like whenever we stayed in Salem, like where it smelled like apples.
Yeah, there's just...
So good.
I guess it's a character that they have.
I absolutely love it.
And we also have the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. This one is absolutely beautiful. It's also in Waikīkī. I mean, these are both beautiful hotels, but this one is pink, which I think is pretty cool. It's known as the Pink Palace.
I love that.
And it sits on what was once a vast coconut grove with more than 10,000 trees. So in 1898, workers clearing the grove reportedly disturbed a burial area.
Right, never good.
We're not off to a good start here.
No.
So when trees were uprooted, their roots pulled skulls and bones from the ground, lifting and gathering them into the air. Oh man, that's not good. So they were displaced, and it exposed all of them at once. So I'm sure they rustled up some restless spirits there. So inside the hotel, one room, often noted on the third floor, comes up again and again. Different guests, same description. Waking in the night with the unmistakable feeling that someone is in the room, not moving, not speaking, standing at the foot of the bed, watching. So they never hear footsteps, they never hear doors opening or any other sounds. They just feel a presence close to the bed, as if something's just watching them.
Ew.
Yeah.
I hate that. I mean, especially like how I'll be just like farting or something, and like somebody's just sitting there. It's like, no.
Snoring, like you're snoring. Away. They'd be like, I can't take this.
I'm snoring. I'm passing gas. Just no.
Like, who's haunting who here?
Maybe I have been haunted a lot, but then the ghosts have to leave. It's like, no.
The ghost you.
We're talking about me on their paranormal podcast.
Yeah, on the other side, they're like, man, this person.
She's awful. I hope you never run into a Sarah.
And then to bring this all home, of course, we're going to cover Pearl Harbor.
Oh, I have been to Pearl Harbor, Adele.
Oh, really? Well, let me know if you experienced any of these things.
It is, I will say, it is very eerie.
I can imagine that it's just already a sad kind of, somber place.
It really is.
So, for you kiddos, I mean, not that I was there, but people who don't recall Pearl Harbor, so on December 7th, 1941, just before 8 a.m., the harbor was already awake, of course, because it's the military. Ships lined in rows, crews moving through routines, and then the planes came in low. At first, some thought it was a drill, and then the bombs hit. So explosions moved across the harbor in waves, fuel ignited in the water, ships were struck before crew could fully respond, and the USS Arizona took a direct hit. Its forward ammunition magazines detonated, and a blast so violent occurred that it tore the ship literally apart from within. And it sank in minutes, and more than 900 sailors were trapped inside. And they're still down there. They couldn't recover their bodies, so they're just entombed in the wreckage from the USS Arizona. And the whole entire harbor changed in a matter of hours. Smoke, fire, oil spreading across the surface, men in the water trying to get clear of ships already going down. It ended quickly, but not cleanly, and not quietly. It's a place where thousands died in a matter of hours, and some of them never left. So as I mentioned, the USS Arizona, it's now a memorial, but it very much is a sunken tomb. The memorial sits just above the wreck, where more than, as I said, 900 sailors remain entombed in this sunken ship. Visitors have reported seeing figures with where no one should be. So not clear apparitions, but human-shaped forms. Dark outlines standing along the edge of the memorial and places where no one is allowed to stand. Others describe movement in the water below. No, thank you. I don't even care if it's a ghost. I just don't.
It reminds me of like that episode of my favorite episode, by the way, of Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Tale of the Prom Queen. Whenever like the car like starts bubbling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's so creepy. Yeah, people who witness this, they say it's definitely not fish and it's not debris that they're seeing move under the water, but shapes that seem to rise and shift from just beneath the surface, roughly where the ship is laid to rest. So people see really weird things in the water. Some say it looks like someone standing on a deck that isn't visible anymore. So it's just like someone on where a deck should have been. Not fully formed, not detailed, just enough to register as a person, and then it's gone. So, yikes. So that's the activity at the USS Arizona. Did you see that memorial?
Yes, I did.
Did you notice any weirdness?
I did not notice any weirdness because I was all the weirdness as like a 16, 17-year-old kid. But I did notice, like, it's a very similar feeling to the September 11th memorial, if you've ever been there. It's just this weird silence and just like this heavy feeling of just really like standing in a place where something this tragic happened, like it's just it's just a feeling you can't really put into words.
Yeah, I imagine Auschwitz feels like that too.
Yeah,
that one seems so heavy to me.
Absolutely. So it's just, I don't know, it's just something I think everyone should go and experience, because it's just a very, you're just, you like see movies and you see things in picture books and things like that, but to actually be standing on the ground where it happened is just very surreal.
Yeah.
Quite eerie.
Either way, you'll probably feel something.
Yeah.
You go
yes. Absolutely.
There's allegedly this entity called Charlie, which is interesting because it's not an apparition. It's more of just, like I said, an entity. So it's at a nearby building on Ford Island. I don't know why people refer to this thing as Charlie, but they attribute some activity, including heavy doors opening on their own, faucets turning on, radio shifting stations.
Oh no.
Distinct sound of keys jingling when no one's there. And it's described less like sightings and more like something that you kind of experience and these kinds of things.
Wow.
And attribute it to this thing called Charlie.
Okay, Charlie.
Yeah. And then there's the airstrip itself. Out near the runway, people report something a little harder to describe. It's a low shifting mist. Sometimes people say it glows. You can even say it glows.
What? That's crazy.
Moving along the ground. And with it, people describe a sudden physical sense of panic, like something is wrong, even though there's nothing visible to explain.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Just like that feeling of terror.
Yeah, just like a feeling of absolute panic. Maybe it's like residual of how people felt during the attack. I don't know. But those are some of the highlights of Pearl Harbor if you go visit the memorial and the surrounding area. And that's it. So next time you think you're headed to a paradise vacation, remember Hawaii's sun and sand share the islands with something much older. From the sailors still entombed at Pearl Harbor to the warriors at Nuʻuanu Pali, the past isn't gone, it's still part of the landscape. So keep the pork out of your car, show respect to the land, and if you hear the low call of a poo in the dark, don't go looking for it.
That's so good, Adele. Oh my gosh. I'm ready to go back.
Yeah, it still seems like a great place to me. I've never been to Hawaii since I'm not much of a beach person, but I think there's like a lot of natural things I could do outside.
Yeah, I think there'd be tons of stuff that you could do.
Yeah, so I would be down to go visit and maybe meet Charlie and some of these other folks that still linger.
I want to stay at one of these hotels. Like, whoa.
These hotels look absolutely gorgeous. So
I'm here for it.
Up with the funds, go for it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us, and if you enjoyed this episode, please follow and leave a review. It helps other listeners like you find the show. Until next time.
Stay safe out there, friends.
Stay curious.
And never trust the living.
Later, taters.
Bye, you guys.